Hello, Warlords! Welcome to Saga Thursday, the show all about the skirmish miniatures game from Studio Tomahawk. I am Rodge, and I'm joined once again by Monty. How are you, buddy?
Rodge, I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Awesome. I'm doing pretty good. I am overcoming a nasty bug here, so I don't know if my voice sounds slightly different. Hopefully it'll last the entire episode here, but we got to power through. There's so much to talk about. And the least of that is my new digs here, my new background. I moved out of the basement, and unfortunately, Monty can no longer see me live, so we're not going to have that, sizzling interaction that we normally do. But I think we'll get through that. It should be a good episode, and this is gonna be a lot of announcements in this episode, Monty. So I got some new digs. Another big announcements. Christmas Miracle here. We're going to have 5 episodes of Saga Thursday in December. So this is the first one. Next week, we're going to have an Anglo-Dane faction review with Nick. And a week after that, we're having a Moors faction review with Mike. And then the last 2 weeks are still up in the air, but there will be something. So I don't think I told you about that, Monty. Are you?
No,
you pumped?
Big surprise.
Yeah, Lord Odin came through, delivered the Yuletide miracle.
Love it.
Yeah, pretty excited about that. I have more announcements there. We have a tournament coming up in the Midwest here. So yes. I've teamed up with a local fellow named Zach, and we're going to be running a couple events here. So the first one is FIMBULWINTER, which will be February 5th, 2022. It's going to be in my hometown of Wausau, Wisconsin. That's about halfway between Chicago and Minneapolis. So if you're in the Midwest or want to head on over, that's going to be a good time. It's going to be all historical ages will be going at it for that one.
Yes. Perfect, Rodge.
Awesome. And that is going to be the first FIMBULWINTER. There is going to be a FIMBULWINTER the following year about the same time as well. But that's not all. We're going to announce, we're just going to throw it out there. Zach and I are doing another event called the ALLFATHER'S Tournament. That's June 18th, 2022. And
wow.
the details will be coming out for that one, probably after FIMBULWINTER, but get it on the schedule. That one will be reoccurring as well around Father's Day every year. So
awesome, Rodge. We
want to get back on track with the events, and we're doing our part over here. So if anybody has questions about those, you can comment below. Otherwise, I've just kind of posted them on Facebook and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited about that stuff. Now, Monty, there was another kind of a small tournament, I think, that just wrapped up somewhere on the other side of the world.
Yes, there was. The UK Saga Grand Melee.
The big one. Yeah, that was awesome. So I saw a couple details. It just finished up as of like our recording time here. So I'm not familiar with the winners or what went on there. Do you have any juicy details for us?
I do. I have a little bit. Let me kind of boil it down. I so want to make the trip over one year. I mean, I know now is perhaps not the time to travel, but I do want to get over there for that because it would just be amazing. And you'd see amazing players and you'd learn so much. So they started at 30-something. Due to all sorts of world events, it boiled down to 24 of the best. They played 6 games over 2 days, and they allowed all historical factions except Age of Invasion. And that one wasn't in just because it dropped a little too close to the actual event. So they had to make a decision.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right. So that was the only one that didn't get in. So get this, 24 players, 19 different factions showed up. So almost no repeats.
What a great spread.
Right, doesn't it? Doesn't it just kind of blow your mind? I mean, like, so talk about balance and interesting. Like, they've Studio Tomahawk has really done a good job. Like, everyone doesn't jump on the same terrain, or yeah, the same warbands. They bring in 19 different ones. And the split was Age of Hannibal had 5 players. Age of Vikings, our favorite over here and over there too, brought in 12, and there were 7 Age of Crusades players. And boils down to the top 3 spots. Mark Birch was tops with his Scots, and he's a fabulous player.
Cool.
He's right up there with Andy. So no surprise to see his name as like the number 1 in that big show. Chris Ainsworth took 2nd spot with Carolingians, which makes me really happy, Rodge, because I have watched a couple of our local most talented players like bring Carolingians out and make it near or to the top table, but not quite get that win. And you don't see them in the top spots a whole lot. So I'm glad to see that Chris could nudge them, with his skills and abilities to 2nd place. And Northern Tempest Joe took 3rd place with the Iberians, which I have taken many beatings from the Iberians. So I'm not surprised to see them in 3rd spot.
Cool. Great spread up top. So the Scots, you're kind of defensive juggernaut of classic times. You've got your Carolingians, kind of a versatile shooting type faction. Typically is how we've seen them run. And then the Iberians with your activation reactions galore, loaded up guerrilla. And cool. Well, awesome. I know some of our Discord members were at the event, and so I haven't popped over yet, but I'm assuming we could probably get some more details over on the Saga Thursday Discord server, hopefully. So yeah, I'm excited to read more about it.
Yes, and that's it. I was just going to kind of like repeat, like, hey, if you're not in the Saga Thursday Discord, find the link, join. It is a great little space. I mean, people are kicking around builds, hobby, non-Saga talk, I mean, everything. And if I could just sneak in one other like interesting, one other really like it stood out for me, interesting detail. So our top chap and world champion, Andy Lyon, brought Saracens to the event, as did Hamza. And you know Hamza, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that these 2 guys brought Saracens, like right away had me scratching my head, and I'm like, I need to look at that board again, because Rodge, I have preconceived notions, and one is like, well, you just don't see the Saracens come to the big events. So the fact that these 2 guys are running them, very interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree. So Hamza and I were actually chatting about that prior to the event, trying to figure out what faction he wanted to take. And, we both thought that their strength in just being an uncommon faction on the table is a strength in and of itself.
Yes.
If people aren't used to playing against them, we know how Saga games go. You see the boards, do their mechanics, and doop, doop, doop. And you're like, oh, that's how that works. Well, I no longer have my Hearthguard unit. It will be tough to come back from this.
Yes.
So I pinged him. I haven't heard back from him yet. I think it's his bedtime. So I'm interested to see how he fared. But yeah, that's really awesome. Hopefully we can get some more details. Still early times as this is being recorded. So awesome to see such a big spread of forces. And I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully at FIMBULWINTER, and then the Age of Melee event at Adepticon too.
Yes.
It'll be fun to kind of monitor. There's like an overall Saga scene with like all the historical, has its own scene, and then each age will have its own winners and losers. It'll be kind of interesting to monitor all that as we go along here. Yeah. So
I can't wait.
Awesome. Well, we are going to move along here. We'll talk a little bit. We haven't talked about games that we've been up to for an episode or two. So, Monty, have you been getting any games in? Any Invasions or Hannibal stuff?
Right. A little bit. I've been kind of focusing on Age of Invasions. My buddy has quite a few of those warbands already painted. I was trying to like just kind of ponder like, are any of these like top boards that might be good for the Saga Age of Melee, and just kind of seeing what they do, right? So I'm gonna be a little tight on this one, but I did play 2 back-to-back games of Saga. We timed it to kind of get, to kind of that feel for like the tournament pressure. And it was me playing the Picts and then the Goths against my buddies Franks. And just to kind of boil it down again, 3 kind of interesting takeaways from these matchups. The number one is, oh my gosh, I think the Franks might be the ones to beat in Age of Invasion. Along with Assassins, of course. I love their cheap activations. I love that little mechanic where you win 3 fights and then you have 3 determinations plus ones. That is just brilliant. And you can watch it like Sands of the Hourglass as your buddy's loading it up and you're like, oof, this is going to hurt. I also love they have the little ability called Mund. And you're like, okay, so it takes away on a common, takes away 3 of my attack dice. And you're like, but you know what? My buddy used that every turn and only when he was attacking, and he would use it at key moments. And boy, that just like helped pave the way for him for getting those 3 early wins. So really was impressed by the Franks. That's my one takeaway. My second one, I would say, is the Picts showed great potential. I think I barely scratched the surface on what they can do, but I would say this. If you love war bands that can mess around with your opponent and your opponent's head and do goofy things, then the Picts are really for you. You're going to have fun with that one. Seriously. They're going to be fun. There's stuff in there, you read it, and you look at the board, you can't quite suss it out in the first go, but once you're playing, like it'll kind of be revealed. The puzzle pieces start clicking, you're like, oh, that's what that is. And then the last bullet is, I tried an experiment with my Goths. I put them in an all-foot build to see if maybe I could like leverage staying alive and closing ranks, and it was kind of a spectacular failure, my one run out in that particular game. But easy fix, because they are very dice hungry. You don't want to mess around moving the guys around the board any more than you have to. So the next time I run my Goths, I'm going to play them all mounted or almost all mounted so that I can get the efficiency of 12-inch charges and just build up 1 unstoppable attack per turn. Don't try to do too many things. It is a super hungry board. But bottom line, for people who are wondering if they're should play Goths, if you love Vikings, if you love bashing things, then you should love the Goths too.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I've got a little bit to say about the Goths and the Franks as well. So from prior episodes, I've been playing Saxons from Invasions, just messing around with them. And then I mixed it up since then. I run a couple games with Franks and then a couple games with Goths, basically using the same kind of barbarian Viking models that I have. You can do... I think I did the same build with each one, 4 points of warriors and 2 points of Hearthguard with each. And the Goths were the one I did last, so they're the freshest in my mind. And yeah, I do think I want to get some horse Goths, Monty. I agree with your sentiment there. And holy smokes, you can really put together a really strong, unstoppable killer attack where you put out a boatload of damage, you take no damage in return, and then, of course, you're exhausted, and it's the opponent's turn, but they really need to, like, if you leave an exhausted unit, you're playing the Goths, and at the end of your turn, you have an exhausted unit there. It really kind of, I don't know if it changes the dynamics. Sometimes you might leave that unit there, but, like, you... as the opponent, like, you need to eliminate that exhausted unit, or else it's just coming. Yes, like they're never out of play. Like they just come right back in, which is kind of a cool mechanic with the Goths. Where some boards, with like my last Romans, if I'm exhausted, that unit's out of play for like 2 or 3 turns, or the rest of the game potentially. But not so with the Goths. Right. I think the key with the Goths, getting the most use out of them, is how to do multiple attacks and when to leave yourself exposed. I would like to play more games. I mean, it's so tempting just to throw everything in to that single attack. So But there's got to be a way. I mean, you have some good abilities here. If you pop, I think, Eye of the Hurricane, you can shuffle the fatigues around. So I think you could catch some people out. There's that one where Order's reaction, you leave yourself exhausted, but every time they spend one of your fatigues, they put a fatigue on one of their units somewhere. So I think there's a couple of ways to go about it. But overall, very fun, kind of similar to the Saxons, really just throwing it all out there, making some decisions there, trades. And overall fun board. And the Franks, I have to say, I almost lost the first one out there. There's a lot of good abilities there. You got to figure out both of the 2 dice abilities are really good. I guess, were you, Monty, going for the impact at the top of the turn, or just, I found myself kind of leaving that one and going elsewhere. So that's the one where Orders phase, you get to pop it, and all your Franciscas get the 3 bonus attack dice.
It's a little spendy. My buddy was playing Franks, and I think he was doing a little legwork, a little homework, because he kind of came with a plan. And me, I'm looking at the pick board, scratching my head. I'm like, what am I doing here? So he was much more organized. He did use it a few times, but he was building up his show of force to momentum, like right from the word go. And I was trying to deny that, because, of course, once he had that queued up, it's kind of a storm you got to ride through, and it's not a great storm. But boy, Frankish people, I don't know. I just was like, I couldn't match his activations for sure. His army was on the move and activating cheaper, and seemed like he could clear. Yeah, it seemed like he could. That's it. Frankish people lets you do a rest, a move, or a charge. So with like 3 activations, he was clearing fatigue quicker. I was just kind of struggling and on my back foot. So, but that was just one read, one try.
Yeah, I think I think you kind of mentioned, the show force and the momentum and getting it off at the right time. You have to win 3 combats before you can flip it over. And then it's like the following turn, because momentum's in Orders. So that first game, like it was too late. Like, I mean, it is handy for the end of the game, getting determination on your little units.
Right.
I mean, you want to pop it turn 3 or 4 with your like 10, 12 man warrior units, get the +1. You're adding additional dice. More dice, the more better than +1s is. Right, Monty?
Yeah, exactly. Rodge, I should mention, sorry, this may be biased like my readout here. We were playing Battle Around the Campfire twice, so you start right on top of each other. So that's a slightly unusual read. He was popping it on turn 3 in each of those games.
Yeah, that is pretty early in it. It's pretty hard to actually get 3 wins. I mean, it is kind of, you can guarantee like 1 win per turn once you're in range. So it's kind of turn 4 or 5, depending on the scenario, maybe. Right. And so you really want to try to push, and I think, get the Warlord in there for that one easy win. So you can rack up 2 wins on one of the turns and then pop it on 3 or 4. So very, very fun board as well. Another aggressive one. I think they did a good job with all these foot barbarian factions, making them distinct from each other, but all aggressive and scary in their own ways. So very, very fun. Having a lot of fun with invasions here.
Yeah. Yes.
So, all right. I think that's about all we have to say about our games. And I didn't even talk about it, but I guess the subject of this episode is another big announcement, Monty. And so I'll just come out and say it. I think we've talked about it. I've kind of left you a little bit in the dark so I could just surprise you on the air. But Saga Thursday is starting up a Patreon account. Fortunately, I'm the only one who's going to get to listen to Monty's surprise responses here, as there was a little recording snafu when I was clicking around here. Monty will be back before the end to lead us out of here. But for now, I guess this is going to be me kind of running through this pretty quickly, I guess. So the Patreon, what's going on with that? Well, for the Monty monthly video, nothing's going to be changing there. He's graciously agreed to continue doing that. No matter what results of the Patreon, we're still going to have 1 month of, or one Saga Thursday per month, just like we always have. But there's going to be opportunity for a lot more Saga Thursday. So the episodes will be posted on the Patreon site, but everything is going to be posted on this YouTube page as well. There's not going to be anything behind the scenes, behind a paywall or anything like that. If you watch it on the Patreon, you don't have to listen to the ads. So that's a benefit. But otherwise, it's not my intent to do any exclusive videos that you have to pay money for. So I just want to make that clear up front as we dive into this. So I don't think that's helpful for growing the Saga community, but having a lot of video content out there, I think does help the Saga community. So let's jump in. There's going to be 5 different tiers. This should be on patreon.com Saga Thursday. If not, I'll have a link to whatever it is if it's different. But basically, head on over that page and you can join the Grand Heathen Army. So we've got a lot of spots, a lot of positions in the forest here. For $2 a month, you can join the levy. So obviously, if you're in the levy, you can't expect much of anything. And if you don't expect anything, you can't be disappointed. But every Saga general knows that you do probably want some levy around, and a few levy in a pinch can come through for you. So at that level, you're not really getting anything, but you are contributing, you're helping to get more episodes out, and you can still go on there and watch ad-free versions of the show if that's your thing. So the meat and potatoes is going to be the warrior level. And so at this point, I need to talk about some giveaways for Saga Thursday fans. So there's a very specific way you have to do these things. So Gripping Beast is going to be helping out Saga Thursday fans. And every quarter, they're going to give away a free plastic kit to a Saga Thursday fan. So if you are a warrior or one of the higher levels on the Patreon channel, you're automatically entered into this contest. 10 entries per month. If you do not want to go that route, there's a free way to do that. You can go to rodgerules.com/contests, and you can basically send me letters in the mail to sign up as well. Legally, that's the way we got to do it here. So that is one of the benefits of being a warrior. Otherwise, you get to unlock a Discord warrior role, and you get access to our Patreon only chat channel on Discord, and that's kind of the main deal at this level. One thing is these are a work in progress. If there are kind of easy things I can add to spice this up, I'm definitely all ears for anything I can do in that regard. But that is the benefit of being a warrior at this time. Thank you for your support if you want to jump in at that level. Going up, we've got the Hearthguard for $6 per month. And the Hearthguard, he gets the benefits of the warrior tier. And then I'm going to talk about a second contest open to all Saga Thursday fans, which is every 3 months, I will be painting a hero model to give away to Saga Thursday fans. So if you're at the Hearthguard level, you'll automatically be entered into this. Otherwise, you can follow the previous link, which I'll have in the description, and it'll tell you how to sign up through the mail if you want to do it that way. But it's going to be a hero model, probably a challenger, I'm thinking. Sometimes, but I've got a collection of hero models, warlords, priests, what have you. So I'll be painting up one of those to give away to a lucky Saga Thursday fan. And at the end of the year, we will be doing something a little bigger. I'm going to do a unit of mercenaries. Everybody can use those. Or maybe a unit of berserkers would be fun to paint. So either a unit of Hearthguard or mercenaries at the end of the year. So something a little bigger to end the year. And that is the Hearthguard level. Coming up, we got the Lifeguard level. So it's an Age of Crusades reference. And mathematically, it works here. It's $12 per month. So once you're getting up here, you're kind of really being a good patron. Kind of running out of things I can offer you, but you would definitely have my sincerest thanks. And you get similar things to the Warrior and Hearthguard levels. So you get in both of those contests. You get a special Discord role of the Lifeguard. You're going to get thanked by me and Monty. Or, well, maybe Monty will thank you, but I'll definitely thank you. Maybe he will too. And then you're going to get priority on comments for videos. If you have a question, we've been doing comments every 2 or 3 videos. If you're a Lifeguard, you're a priority member. So you're going to get your questions answered on a priority basis. And then on top of that, you're going to get a half your tournament entry fee refunded for any event that I'm running and you show up. So at the moment, that's FIMBULWINTER, Saga Thursday at Adepticon, and the ALLFATHER'S Day event. So 2 of those were announced previously. And then Saga Thursday at Adepticon is the Age of Magic event. So this refund will be delivered in person. You got to show up to the event to get it. So you're still going to sign up like normal, go through the normal Adepticon web cart, when that's available for 2022. And yeah, you'll get your cash back. And if you want to spend it on drinks, it's probably a good idea, but you can do whatever you want with it. And serious thanks. If you're contributing at this level, basically, you really want to help out and recognize those past efforts. And the big one, you got to throw a couple of these in here if you never know what you're going to get. But the Warlord level, so $24 per month, basically, you're more recognizing the last 6 years of episodes, the prior 150 episodes, the time, effort, and resources that were put into those. And you want to make sure that there's 150 more. Not going to hold myself to that necessarily, but the best chance of doing that is having a couple of warlords contributing per month. And, basically, there isn't anything I can give you that's probably worth it, but you're going to be contributing to more videos coming out. And I do have a couple perks. You're going to get the previous stuff. You're going to get a warlord role on Discord. You're going to get a full refund of any tournament that I'm running. You show up. You're going to play for free as a thank you. I'll even be nice to you. I'm not going to guarantee that for anybody else, but Warlords VIPs, absolutely. And then once per quarter, we'll do a gathering of the Warlords. Or Warlord, and we'll just hang out on Discord and we'll talk Saga. You have access directly to me for a hangout, 4 times a year or so, and perhaps we'll enjoy a beverage during that time as well. So those are the different tiers you can sign up at. And as far as the goals, that's where the additional videos are going to come into play. So we've got Levy Warriors Hearthguard, and basically those correspond to points. The Lifeguard are 2 for 1s. So mathematically that works. Warlords will count as 1 point. And as the Grand Heathen Army grows, we are going to get more and more payback. So, and this is all going to be public stuff. Again, no firewalls or anything. So if we get to 2 points, we're going to do a spring and fall paint contest. So that's going to be guaranteed from here on out. We will be doing the summer and winter ones. So the winter one is going to be in January coming up here. So next episode. So I don't want to stop you from painting, but you probably, well, maybe you should hold off for the holidays, right? And save it for the paint contest. I'm not sure what the theme will be, but it's coming up. So we're going to have 4 paint contests. We're going to have some new prizes there. Gripping Beast will still be giving away some kits, but we're also going to have some pint, custom etched pint or Pilsner glasses, maybe some custom Saga sticks we'll be giving away. So at 2 points, first step, we're getting there. If we get to 4 points, we will be doing 2 Saga videos a month. And so one of them will be the Monty video, kind of our podcast style potpourri. The second one, it'll be probably a faction review, a battle report, or something like that, most likely. If we get to 6 points, we are not just going to give away a hero every month. So instead of painting a hero every month to give away to the Hearthguard level or anybody who signs up through the mail, you're going to get a mercenary or berserker unit. So you're kind of going to get the end of year reward up front every quarter. And then at the end of the year, we're going to do a complete Saga army if this level is met consistently. So of course, I can't be trusted to paint an army during any stretch of time. So Monty has generously agreed to step up and paint an army. So this will probably just be one of the armies he paints during 2022. And I'll take it off his hands at the end of the year. He's going to be fairly compensated. Don't worry about that. So yeah, that's really exciting. So, yeah, hopefully we get to this one and get somebody an army. If we get to 8 points, we're going to get to 3 episodes of Saga THORSDAY per month. Similarly, these will be me on my own with the faction reviews, battle reports, what have you. Number 10 points by popular demand is a podcast. The Saga THORSDAY podcast will return. So some folks may remember the original one. So this is not going to be any new content. This is going to be the audio from the existing episodes will be put onto MP3 and then uploaded to an RSS feed, public, and then you'll be able to use your podcast player or app, whatever have you, to listen to the audio. So for some folks, the YouTube imagery isn't important. And for a lot of these, just listening, I think a lot of people just listen in paint and don't need to look at the screen too often. So that could be very useful for folks to do. It is an extra step of a pain, and the numbers when I did it last time didn't make sense, but hey, if we get to 10 points in the Heathen Army here, it'll make sense then. So I'll get that process going, and we'll have podcast versions of all the shows. If we get to 12 points, holy smokes, we're going to have 4 episodes of Saga THORSDAY each month. So one of the Montes, 3 with me, and for most months, that's going to be a Saga THORSDAY every month. There are a couple months with 5 Thursdays in them, so those will still be a miss, but it's going to be a lot of Saga content. If we're getting up to 14 points, closing it out, 16 will close it out, but this is pretty darn close. We're going to do some kind of live episode. So I don't have the details on this. This seems to be a pretty high number here. I don't know if it'll be met, but as some sort of regular live episodes. Monty may or may not be involved with that. It may be on YouTube. It may be on Twitch. It may be on Discord as an audio. I'm not a technophile, so some of the details of this kind of freak me out, but we will, if we get to this level, we'll make it happen. Some sort of regular live episode at least once every quarter, maybe monthly if I'm comfortable with everything that's going on. But we'll put that on the table. Lastly, if we get to 16 points, this is kind of crazy. We're going to have 5 episodes of Saga Thursday every month. And that is going to make every Thursday a Saga Thursday, just like it used to years ago when I was a younger fella and had more time for such things. So I could definitely make the effort if we get to this point. The 5th episode, so there's months with 5 Thursdays. This will cover those. Most months just have 4 Thursdays. So the 5th episode will come out at the end of the month as a bonus Saga Freya's Day episode on the Friday. So I'd like to do that at least one month. Have a Freya's Day episode. It amuses me. So anyways, that's the breakdown. Thanks for sticking with me. We're going to jump back to Monty. That's the layout. If anybody has suggestions on how to improve that, I'm all ears. I'm one man, limited in what I can do. There's only so much we can ask of Monty here. I'm definitely appreciative of continuing to do the monthly show with me and for being willing to paint an army if called upon. I think Monty is the man in the pinch. If you need a Saga army, he's the man you talk to, if you can find him.
I shouldn't be hard to find. I'm always here, and I always seem to be painting something new. So
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how this goes. So December is kind of the trial month. Hopefully, folks can get signed up, and then we'll see going into January here how many episodes we're looking at, but kind of giving folks a grace period for December. I'm just going to give you the full 5 episodes, regardless of what happens. It was fun, I should say, Monty, to record some of these faction reviews. It's been a while. So the Anglo-Danes next week, long overdue.
Yep.
Talking with Nick Mihalis. And,
he's good. He's good.
Yeah, the young lion of Saga, and he had a lot to say. Got me pretty pumped. I think I might be running Anglo-Danes next time I break out the Eastern Heathens. Might be running that variant. Otherwise, I think this is it for this episode here, Monty.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming along, and comment below. I'll have the links to the Patreon below. And then if that's not your taste, definitely check out the Discord links as well. There's a lot of good content on there, and that sucker's growing as well. And looking forward to connecting with everybody going forward here, and looking forward to doing more episodes.
Fantastic.
All right. I'll check you guys later. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Saga! If you'd like to see more Saga content, consider joining the Heathen Army over on Patreon or popping on down to the Saga Thursday Discord server. Links below. Thanks, guys.